Hi Capricorn, welcome back for your January 2020 read. This is both astrology, psychic intuitive, as well as additional tools you can use for January. Now, 2020 is a pretty unique time moving into January. We have the conjunction with Saturn and Pluto. We also have, and that's within your sign, we also have the eclipse in Cancer. So it's making sort of a double story really going on. There's two things going on, and interestingly enough, I have pulled gemstones really that I feel as I go that are going to be beneficial for you. Now, the one area obviously that we need to be mindful of is the nodes are changing in March. Yep, March. I've got all these dates in my head, so I'm articulating them through my mind's eye. So in March, the nodes are changing. Now, the one thing, just tuning into your cards, tuning into your own energy that was coming through was almost 12th house activation. Especially with the first house placement, it's like really, really looking at yourself and looking at how you want to move forward in your life. But it's very Capricorn energy, yes, but it's very much a different way of actually doing it. Innately, you know who you are, but really with the way the energies are coming through, it's more you're almost being super critical towards yourself. You're really looking at your psychic downloads. And when I was pulling the cards, one card was hidden in the deck. And it would not leave my side. So I've kept it in the crowning energy for you. And it really links into everything that's coming through, both with your first house placement of Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter. So the planet of expansion is your first house. It's really going to come down to you, but it's the way you're seeing things that's crucial. You're also shaping and changing the way the world is seeing you. So really turning over a new leaf and entering into this decade cycle in a very unique way. Now, Saturn will be moving from Capricorn, your sign, into Aquarius. Later, that will be your second house, which is all about the things outside of yourself. So it's very important to anchor your energy in and to get to a place where you directly, fully know who you are, and that the external world, it's a bit like they say, as within, as without. So it will directly mirror what you vibrationally feel on the inside is what vibrationally will come on the outside. So you've had a bit of time to work on the first house placement, especially with the Jupiter energy in Capricorn. It will be where you're wanting to grow these things, wanting to bring these things into your life. You're going to be looking at it from a very unique perspective. Now, the crowning energy you do have, I have pulled a gem, and I really, really highly suggest using amethyst in 2020. Definitely some chakra stones could be highly beneficial, especially the throat chakra, because the energy is moving through Jupiter as well as Mercury, Gemini and Sagittarius, which for you is your 12th house. So with that, the way you are really navigating the matrix in 2020 is very much looking at yourself, looking at external situations, but really honing in that energy and looking at what you believe versus what other people believe. Now, with Uranus going direct this month, the placement for you guys is your 5th house. Now, this is romance, birth, children, and luck. So there can be some surprises coming up in those areas. There also can be some mindsets, again, when it does come to Saturn and Capricorn, because the nodal conversations that were going on in 2019 were very much to do with our employment, our work, our tribe, the connections, and how we bring all of those things together, and really deep reflection on those areas and fine-tuning those areas, so to speak. And I'm finding that with you guys, you're doing the same thing. Now, with your crowning energy, you've got messages. And again, I'm feeling this is more 12th house placement. And when I say that, especially with first house placement, about yourself and how the world sees you, it's, getting mixed messages. The Mercury energy was really coming through for me personally in a visual psychic sense in December. So looking at the astrology, when the nodes do move into Gemini and Sagittarius in March, already that frequency of Mercury energy was coming through, which is our short travels, our communication styles, and you do have that house activated. and that's with a Neptune. So connected to your dreams, your hopes, your delusions, etc. Anything that you're wanting to co-create and manage, and potentially even in a business aspect. It falls in your third house of communication, self-expression, and short journeys. So your gemstone, I'll read it for you. Now, this is the name of it. This is for your crowning energy. I am mindful of the energetic connections between others and myself. I automatically remove unhealthy cords of attachment. So like I was saying, with the first house placement, I think this really ties in very, very well. And especially with messages. The messages can be things that people are saying, things that people are believing. Again, with your communication house activated, with Uranus going direct in your fifth house, there can be you versus what other people think, and that can be with your children, with your family-related dynamics. So there potentially can be subject matters coming up between the 9th and I could say even, towards the end of the month as well, but definitely near the eclipses and the conjunction. So you versus the energy of Uranus and Taurus direct. I'm really feeling, and I've pulled cards in various areas, and the reason I've done that is because we really need to hone in on the different subject matters that can come in. Also with the astrology, we can hyperlink it back. And I have pulled a Venus card, as well as at the below there is the romance house, which I'll dig in deep into the way you guys are seeing things, potentialities, etc. Now, in your wounds, it's your 4th house placement. Now, this is going to be ongoing for the next year. So having this in mind is very useful to actually understand what's going on. So really the deeper need in the 4th house placement for you guys of how you are going, how you are feeling, not just placing other people first all the time. It's your psychological foundation, domestic issues, endings, and really your day-to-day life, okay? So the way you are residing inside these energies, and that can be both with nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. A subject matter can come up around that time with Aries and Chiron for you guys. And with that, just being mindful that, taking good care of yourself. Again, cutting the cords of unhealthy energies and listening to yourself. Messages. Communicate effectively with these individuals to tell them where the healthy boundary is. It doesn't have to be that you're right or you're wrong, but it really is navigating and creating a sacred space for yourself so that you can feel as grounded as possible. There could even be code words that you use for individuals where if you feel you can't articulate the way you feel about things, you can have that go-to code word, which is really saying, hey, I've reached a threshold. Let's not try and sort this out now. Let's just step back and gain some grounding, and we can deal with this a little bit later. So it's really healthy boundaries, but this wound sense for you guys is for the next 7 years. So those healthy boundaries and your psychological foundation, it's really you looking at what you can do, the way the world sees you, the expectations they have on you, and whether you directly relate to that any longer. Now, in your financial sector, so this is money, the way you're investing, the connections. 2 cards popped out, which I think is quite unique because we do have the conjunction as well as the eclipse. So there's 2 energies simultaneously going on for you guys in finances. Now, this can be 2 areas you're working on, 2 areas you're dealing with, or 2 direct situations. You've got the Page of Cups and the World. There is a scenario where you're trying to reign and you're trying to pull together. And this can, again, it makes perfect sense. It's both romance, which is your 5th house, and it's a karmic cycle as well, which can be very, very connected to what's going on with the eclipse. This can be both in family, tying up loose ends. I'm going to tune in further. Okay. Let's have a look. This can be, yeah, it's for you guys, and I think Cancer's going to be the same. I haven't yet done these, but even tuning into this, it feels the same. I had this light bulb moment when it came to the conjunction and the eclipse, and really what I was seeing for particular individuals, and it can also be collective energy, where there's going to be 2 simultaneous energies playing out, and it really feels like a test factor. With Pluto, it tends to show us where situations are imbalanced or potentially we miss something. where it really needs to be pulled apart, you know, shredded and remade. I'm going to bump the table. With this, it's really the two subject matters. It can be career and family. It can be career in a past tense situation, but it's trying to pull those energies in. 2019 was a time where everyone was trying to pull everything together. Now, your first house placement, you know, potentially you had a lot on your plate. Also with the retrograde cycles, the eclipse cycles for you guys, you were really under the pump trying to achieve a great deal. Turning over that new leaf. Now, this can be impacting it, but it can actually be changing it for the better. So it can go either way, depending on how you have been operating during the year. With the cup energy coming through, I find this to be positive. But again, it's maybe even having to look at a home-related environment that sort of has not been as balanced as you thought it potentially could be. Now, with the eclipse in Cancer, it is relating to home, empath, feminine energies. So this doesn't have to directly be happening to you. It can be happening to people around you in your sphere. You also have the widower. So it's an ending to a situation that had been imbalanced to bring you this financial abundance. But I do feel if you guys have been really looking at situations and investing, potentially even businesses, people, places, things, this is both an emotional and a physical level. So it's two things really going on. And I feel you're going to have an assessment of that area. I'm going to pull a chakra card. But this is where the actual change in this situation is going to come. The questioning. Look, there's two situations you guys are dealing with because two cards keep wanting to come out. Now, you've got throat chakra as well as guidance. So I told you crown chakra and Mercury energy. So again, the things you're seeing, the things you're sensing, again, cutting cords to situations that don't work for you. It very much feels like it can be you doing this, not necessarily that other people aren't directly involved in the scenario, but really making decisive decisions as to what you're going to do moving forward. Especially with the communication, the throat chakra being open, I feel any triggers or situations coming up, there can be a lot of telephone calls, a lot of paperwork, a lot of communication going in and out to sort the situation out. But I do feel you're going to resolve it and you will be making a decision. Now, in your employment section, and this can be even just the things you're working on, you've got the Two of Swords. I'm telling you, two everywhere. You've got the Two of Swords in reverse. Now, you're really going to meditate upon the reality of this situation. Some of you may wish to venture out into a different place of employment. Others of you are unsure how all of this is going the way it is. Again, any temporary pause, especially with the Pluto energy, is very much just that. Any problem that arises, I'm deeply feeling that it's giving you the solution. If you're not invested and you feel that you're worth more, it is a great time to network and look for other possibilities. Because some of you are unsure. Some of it can be where this money's going. Some of it is whether you can trust a situation. But I'm really hearing you need to, how do I put it? If you have a hunch that you don't trust a situation, you really do need to trust it. Okay? Yeah, if you're not invested in it and not passionate about it, it's going to affect the flow of things. It can also be an external person who isn't putting as much work into a scenario at work that, you know, it's affecting the flow of the vibration. And again, if you're a manager, it might be that you actually need to look at the situation and restructure the way it's operating. So it doesn't have to directly be just you. You will know how this directly relates. It's a situation you're tuning into that is feeling imbalanced, but with finances in reverse and heart chakra in reverse, again, I'm feeling very fatigued energy. I'm feeling as though the break you had potentially wasn't enough. Now, in your group, and the reason I do it in this way is to see how everything in your life is energetically affecting the flow, right? If it's a repetitious pattern. Really choose who you're mixing with in your tribe, okay? Really, tribe can be many things, and I've pictured it as tribe, not family. Initially, it used to be family, but not all of us have direct kin. And so the people we directly connect to don't have to be DNA. They are tribe orientated. They become like family. So the people you mix with, the people you associate with, again, first house placement, it's very much how you're looking at things, how you feel connected, and the people you're mixing, as within, as without. Very much how Saturn is going to be operating through your chart when it moves into Aquarius is second house placement. Now, this is where you guys potentially, yes, can actually be working with a better group of people. You know who your tribe are. It can be just one direct individual and you're needing to look at it. But some of you, the message is coming through where you will be networking, you will be looking for different employment. But there also could be a home-based business that's coming through or a business that you're running. So it's interesting that tribe has come up. This is huge manifestation. This can be people that are very ambitious, people that are wanting to create things, but there's a potential that you guys could actually open a business. There also, yeah, definitely, this is a partnership and a binding. There also could be a reunion for those of you who have been separated, a coming together of connections, a building of a foundation, but I am feeling business-orientated here. Now, in love, again, the messenger card fell directly on this. Be very cautious of who you're trusting. I do feel you need to communicate effectively. You may have changed, but this person also might have changed. So you might be thinking that you could be manipulated here. Also, in love, it doesn't just have to be a romantic interest. I pulled your love spread down here. Tribe and connections. And I'm feeling this one energy. Now, this could be one energy in many areas of your life where you can really hone in on them and you know the lower frequency versus the people who you directly connect to. And I'm really deeply feeling you have to trust your intuition. There could be one family member. There could be one employee or employer that just you've got this hunch about. And I'm really feeling you're on point with this, Capricorn. Trust your intuition when it comes to this individual because I do feel you're on point. If you feel you're being manipulated, this could be your child, it could be an ex, it could be your current partner. However it relates, you know, again, with your first house placement, it doesn't have to be that you need to directly leave the situation. Some of these people might not even know that they're doing this. It might have become a common theme. And again, with this placement, it's how the world sees you and how you see yourself. It's changing that. You can't change the person. Potentially, they don't even know they're doing it, as I said. So if they're unaware of it, but it's been a routine that's been going on, it may be where the communication needs to come up and you need to express and articulate how this makes you feel. Because I don't think they're aware of it. Yeah, a bit of ego there. So they don't know they're doing it. They do. But they will think about what you're saying. Also, for those of you that are wondering, you know, is someone thinking of me? Yes, they are. And this is a very separate kind of sentence to the area I channeled. Okay, now in your hopes and dreams and your Neptunian frequency coming through, again, you have the Two of Wands. Now, this is going to, again, this can be change of partnerships. This can be the energy of where, and this really came up in your chart as well. Let me have a look. Yes. Okay, with the eclipse in Cancer. Now, some of your dreams and the eclipse in Cancer, potentially what's coming up for you guys is 7th house, which is marriage, contracts, and partnerships. Now, anything you're tuning into in that area, again, I have pulled a card for karmic frequency, and it is a 5, which means change. Now, if you're wondering, you know, this dream could be a renegotiation of planning a partnership boss. It could be leaving one situation, wondering if this person's going to come back, maybe even getting quite spiritually stuck, you know, in a delusional state. Again, it's a temporary mindset, but something can be coming up around that. And in a karmic sense, it's directly saying that, yes, this change is coming. Some of you might be walking away from a scenario, but this also can be a very external situation in the previous energy that can be coming up. But I'm also feeling needing to leave something behind in order to make a dream come true, okay? Now, whatever this is, I keep getting this very old, separate energy, very routine-like frequency in certain areas of your life, and I'm feeling you're seeing it now. And you're cutting the cords to the situations, the people, places, and things that don't relate to you. I feel if you're cutting a cord to a past tense connection, it's you actually want to. But this will only be for those of you who, because it really feels quite empty, okay? But it doesn't even feel upsetting. It just feels a very old situation or something that is well and truly for you. It just doesn't exist. There's no, it doesn't even feel like a spiritual connection. It feels very different. It feels very karmic to me. Very frustrating. But I do feel this energy of what you're tuning into is very much really tuning into the things that you're wanting to have. Now, this Two of Cups energy, in a karmic sense, there can be some trigger points and pain body experiences. Now, we'll refer back to Chiron and Aries, which is your 4th house. And this is, again, looking at the things around the eclipse and around the conjunction, really base chakra orientation. I will pull a card for that. But I'm feeling get your chakras balanced a few days before and use the tools that I suggest, or you can look for ones that you know spiritually work for you. If the trigger comes up in that area, just be mindful of it. It is temporary. This too shall pass. You can use crystals. You can use bath salts. You can even be forgiving towards yourself for things that had transpired. Yeah, blue chakra. Physical health in reverse, which I did say Aries and Chiron, is on top of the 5. It is to do with your psychological foundation, domestic issues, endings, very Plutonian energy, very much connected to eclipse as well. Family orientation with the red base chakra. It's in reverse. It's like it might have already been well and truly gone. Again, it might be where it just can't be fixed. But again, I'm not really feeling that. I feel it's more a purge, if anything. But again, it's 5. You can't make this up. 5 on 5. 5 on 5. Change, okay? Changes are coming. Look at that as a very positive thing. Now, the unseen of what you're not saying is the Hangman in reverse. And this is really where you have put yourself on hold for far too long and you're liberating yourself. And all of this is articulating that, including your crowding energy of disconnecting from people, places, and things. It's closing that cycle out. It's entering this new decade into a very new, unique style. Now, in your romance section, you got Key in reverse. I'm going to chain into it. Okay, first sentence, new beginnings. Now it's in reverse, leaving the past behind. This can be connected to this person. It can also be connected to a physical person very separate to this energy in order to move towards your love interest. Now, because I do read for spiritual connections, because I'm a Taoist, I tune into these things and I see energetically how it's playing out. Now, again, your first card relating to the past, you had to make a judgment. Physically, spiritually, with Aries and Chiron, I'm feeling at the heart of the matter, you guys have been to hell and back, okay? It's been, water's run deep. Your perspective of things has really changed. The way you feel about yourself has changed, but you're not willing to take any risks, okay? You've got the full card moving forward. You're making very smart decisions when it does come to your heart, when it does come to your healing. There is movement, okay? The crowding energy between you and this romantic interest is patience and time. And again, it's slow down. Now, you can take as much or as little time as you need when it comes to heal. And what I'm feeling is you could even be within this connection, but a painful scenario could have happened in the past. And again, this Aries and Chiron frequency is helping you. It's like a planet doctor or a planet psychologist. It's showing you the wound. It's coming up inside you so that you can get the magnifying glass on it and gently heal. Now, at times it doesn't feel like that, especially if we have ego energies around us that we have to cut ties with that directly kind of purging that situation out of us. you get these crown of thorns happening where it's like, look, it's really withering. The challenges ahead will bring a new and positive future. It's work through this month, okay? Really work through these areas. And I'm feeling that the healthy boundaries is, the healthy boundary 9 times out of 10 is with self. I actually able to use your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, moving yourself forward, actually saying no where no is no, and saying yes where yes is yes, and being very comfortable with that energy. Even if there is manipulation around you, trying to make you something you're physically not. I do feel whatever you're directly dealing with, I'm also seeing a parent energy that may have been of concern. This can be either here or passed over. So I just felt mother energy coming in. The way your face is versus what is going on the inside just doesn't match, okay? It's like this, almost like this face, but without the eyes closed. Looking very put together, right? Yet underneath this energy really going on. Now, Fool in reverse. I do feel this is temporary. I feel the leap of faith forward is to finalise situations. This can be paperwork, documentation, tying up loose ends, receiving employment. You name it, it's happening. It's all happening in your first house. So this is a very busy month for you guys. This situation, the judgment you're going to make is going to cause a healthy solution, okay, or a healthy resolution. Also, with what you're working on to achieve, especially in your romance life, I do feel it's making more room, okay? The work you're doing, the crap you're dealing with, is to, again, 2 cards, is to basically make more room in your life so that you can fill it with more abundant, beautiful, energetic, happy things. Now with the Fool and you taking a leap with this situation and moving it forward, I feel, be it you're separate or you're together, the same energy is directly playing out. You're working really hard, and again, this can be to do with employment, money, finances, and it's not going to be taken from you because you're directly doing the work. Also, when it does come to your romantic house, tying up these loose ends, again, for some of you, it might be you're dealing with divorces or the person that you're linking in with. It's paperwork orientation. I'm seeing a lot of paperwork around you guys. Now, the foundation of this situation, again, your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. Read the fine print. Deal with the detail. Remove these toxic energies away from you, because I do feel this whole relationship is shedding skin and you're trying to do it the right way. Now, the snake is more, I'm seeing, especially with the green, it was heart chakra. Now, in the placement of work, again, heart chakra in reverse. Now, this can be things you're working on, and you did get the 2 of Swords and finances in reverse. And again, this is a very, I definitely suggest getting some rose quartz. And again, you can pick green gemstones as well, because it does heal heart chakra. You're really looking at what's true and what's not. But it's because you've got a lot changing in you. You're working very hard on yourself, both spiritually and emotionally, to heal, so that you can actually trust in this situation. But because both energies, and I'll read their cards, right? They're not feeling super strong, okay? They've got a lot of inner child work going on. They've had to climb many mountains in the past as well, but they haven't. Now, death, right? This is spiritual death. This is huge transformation. This is at the heart of it. And you, at the heart of it right now, are dealing with adversity and dramas. Their outcome card is the World. So again, this can be where they're having major changes on their side, and so you feel in a conflict about it. But again, the energies can swap. Now, I'm going to pull 3 cards for an outcome, and then we'll tie it up. Now, it's the major events that you need to deal with that I feel will balance this situation out. I'm telling you, past tense situations. Yeah. You wanted it to be, by the end of the year, you want this to be different, okay? This can be where some connections were ending for you to move into the situation that you want to be in. Inner child work can be connecting to children, parenting, etc. But also removing of the ego and dealing with the inner child. So really having a connection and having this connection be very, very give and take, very equal. But there is a lot of healing here. And I do feel you guys are doing it together, be it you're with each other or not. Now, by the end of the year, positive energies are coming through, okay? And again, I am feeling this is for you guys because the last eclipse we had was in Capricorn. Now, this feels past tense frequency for me. So around the time of Christmas was very much the Capricorn eclipse. And I feel something from that time frame is actually tying out. It might come up again at this eclipse phase, and I think that's when it's resolving. That's the outcome card. I don't want to leave you like that. But I really do feel it's actually resolving, so it's a temporary situation. The Two of Coins in reverse. Conflict coming up so that it can end, so that you can move forward free. I told you. Love and light.